This is in fact one of 2 stingray city sites in Grand Cayman. The other stingray city site is up by Barker's Headland, which is over there. There's several other stingray cities in the Caribbean. However, these are the only 2 where the stingrays are free to come and go as they please. The only thing that keeps the stingrays here is the fact that we feed them and we're nice to them. A little history behind the 2 sites here. They're both a little over 30 years old. As the story goes, back in the day, before Caymanians were lawyers and bankers, they were fishermen. And they used to keep all of their fishing boats out here in the North Sound. The North Sound is this big lagoon, largest lagoon in the country. We just drove through it this afternoon. Anyway, the fishermen would have to cross this reef to go fishing. There are a couple of natural cuts through the reef that they would have used. One is directly over here. You can see a lack of breaking waves that don't follow on from the reef. That's the cut. So they go out through that cut, catch their fish, come back in. But of course, they would have to clean their fish before they could eat or sell them. So to save getting eaten alive, the fishermen would come inside the cuts and anchor up on these shallow spots created by eddying currents through the cut. And of course, this is where they'd clean their fish. The heads would come off, the guts would come out, the scales would come up, and all that would go over the side of the boat. And what they were doing was effectively baiting the area. After a while, they noticed that an unnatural accumulation of stingrays started to occur. Unnatural for 2 reasons. Firstly, they're out here during the day. Stingrays are nocturnal animals. During the day, they should be at the bottom of the shallow water, covered in a thin layer of sand. Sand hides them from their predators, which are sharks, and also protects them from the sun. I'll answer questions at the end. That's why these stingrays are actually a lot darker than other ones you'll see around the islands. They're suntanned. So out here. The second reason it's unnatural is they're here in such high numbers. Last census, last month, there were 88 stingrays on the sandbar. At any one month, there's between 80 and 120. Now, a group of 6 fishermen took it on themselves to start getting in the water at these 2 sites and see if they couldn't train the rays to come and take food from their hands. What I'm told, it took them about 6 months until the rays felt comfortable enough around them. Then they started bringing people out here to see them. And hence, that's how the stingray cities came about. Now, a little after this, the Cayman Islands government started to make marine protected areas. There's lots of different types of marine protected areas depending on what you're allowed to do in those zones. One particular type was made specifically for these 2 stingray city sites. It's called a wildlife interaction zone, and we will be in one of these all afternoon. This zone basically gives us a legal right to be able to come here, feed and handle the rays. Or actually, it would be illegal anywhere else. So, we're here to see these guys. The tourists, the rays, and these are called Southern Atlantic stingrays. That is their common name. The majority of the stingrays you'll see today are female. Females outnumber males roughly 8 to 1 in a natural population. That's where the saying comes from, it's good to be a male stingray. Females are also substantially larger than the males. They get to about a 4.5 to 5 foot wingspan. They can weigh up to almost 200 pounds. The largest ray on the sandbar currently weighs in at about 160